Don't have.
Good. So that means compulsorily you will have to be present.
No, anybody who is there, out of there is one host and there are two co-hosts. So one of them will be the host.
So the person who starts first, he becomes the host?
No, I have been made the host for Pride of Bharat Heritage. So if I'm not there, somebody else becomes the host. Maybe Ravi ji or you.
Okay. Because last week Narendran ji recorded it.
He is also a host.
Okay. Fine. Okay, I think we'll start. Ravi ji, can we start?
Please start.
Okay, thank you. So we will start with Kadavul Varthu prayer. Today being Sankatahara Chaturthi, that is Sankushti Day. So we will have the prayer of Lord Ganesha, that is in Tamil. ஐந்து கரத்தனை யானை முகத்தனை இந்தின் இளம் பிறை போலும் எயிற்றனை நந்தி மகந்தனை ஞான கொழுந்தினை புந்தியில் வைத்தடி போற்றுகின்றேனே. அல்லல் போம் வல்வினை போம் அன்னை வயிற்றில் பிறந்த தொல்லை போம் போகா துயரம் போம் நல்ல குணம் அதிக மாமருணை கோபுரத்துள் மேவும் கணபதியை கை தொழுத கால் வாக்குண்டாம் நல்ல மனம் உண்டாம் மாமலரால் நோக்குண்டாம் மேனி நுடங்காது பூக்கொண்டு துப்பார் திருமேனி தும்பிக்கையான் பாதம் தப்பாமற் சார்வார் தமக்கு கணபதி என்றிட கலங்கும் வல்வினை கணபதி என்றிட காலனும் கைத்தொழும் கணபதி என்றிட கருமம் ஆதலால் கணபதி என்றிட கருமம் இல்லையே. So this is about the prayer. Then this is the first program in this new year. Though we do not intend to celebrate this as a new year, because for us the new year falls sometime in April. But then whether we like it or whether we like or we don't like, we somehow we get into the system of the English calendar. So we will, if we are celebrating this 10 times more than this, we'll have to celebrate the Tamil New Year or the Hindu New Year whenever it happens in April. So one sloka on that. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pasyantu ma kachit dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shantihi. May all be happy, may all be wealthy, may all prosper in life and be devoid of unhappiness. May God bless us all. So with this, we will start today's program. Today's program is about Kural 666. So I will talk about this for some time, and then Mallika ji has agreed to also join me in this, in this discussion. So immediately after that, she will talk about, and then afterwards, it is open to the floor for discussion. So since Mr. Dongre ji is also there, we will have this discussion mostly in English, but sometimes we will not be able to, avoid Tamil, because basically it is in Tamil. So let me start with one Subhashitam. Angana Vedi Vasudha Tulya Jaladihi Stalisha Patalam Valmikaha Tumeruhu Krita Pratiknasya Tirasya. Or a person who has a firm conviction, that is from mind, this earth is like a little garden. Sea is like a small dam. Patal, that is the lake which is there below us, is like a picnic spot, Ramyasthal. And Meru mountain is like a ant's house. So this means that if you have a firm conviction, hurdles in the way do not mean much. So you have ways to tackle them. This is what this Subhashitam talks about. It's also since Dongreji talked about Arthashastra, in Arthashastra there is one saying, Ekha keval matta sadhan vidau sena sthebhyo yatika nandona moolan drushta virya mahima buddhistu ma kanamam. The Chanakya said this when he had difference of opinion with other ministers after defeating Nanda dynasty king. Those who wanted to leave me can leave. They have already left. Those who want to leave now may do so without any hesitation. But for achieving my objective, that which has helped me and which is stronger than thousands of soldiers, that is my intelligence, let it not leave me. That means he said that the intelligence will not leave me. See the confidence that Chanakya has on his wisdom and intelligence. Whatever we lose in life, it is nothing, but let us not lose good things. So this is what Chanakya also talks about this in this Arthasastra verse. Now we will go to the Kural that we are going to talk about today. That is Enniya Enniyangu Eidu Enniyar Thinniyar Agapperin. That means எண்ணியவர் எண்ணியபடி செயல் ஆற்றுவதில் உறுதி உடையவராக இருக்க பெற்றால் அவர் எண்ணியவற்றை எண்ணியவாறே அடைவர். That means those who have planned an undertaking, if they possess firmness in executing it, that firmness is very important here. They will obtain what they have decided, even if they have desired it. That means if one is firm in his thinking, he will be able to achieve whatever he wants. That is the crux of the Kural. There are, under the same chapter, there are other Kurals, also 9 more Kurals. So I will just take all of you to those Kurals. Only the meaning. Firmness in action is one's firmness of mind. That means if one is firm in his mind, that is thinking, then in his action he will also be firm. So the Vinay Tippam என்பது ஒருவர் மனத்திற்பம் மற்றைய எல்லாம் பெற. That means that the others are all nothing. Not to perform ruinous act, not to be discouraged by ruinous termination of an act or the 2 maxims. That means you should not get hindered by the evil or the hindrances that are going to come. So till the end, whoever does whoever does and then completes his action, he is a real man. That's what Valdavar says. And to say how an act has to be performed is very easy, but far difficult is to do according to what has been said. That means doing is more difficult than talking. The firmness in action of those who have become great by the excellence of their counsel will be by attaining its fulfillment in person of the king, be esteemed by all. So this is another Kural. And then the most important thing is that an act that has been firmly resolved on must be as firmly carried out without delay. Now recently we have an example of Rajnikant on this. I'm not going to elaborate that. If you decide to do something, it is better to do it at the earliest possible. If you delay it, you don't know whether it will happen or not. Now, similar to this chapter, there are other Tirukurals. Now, one is Ulliyadu Ellam Udaneidum Ullatal Ullan Veguliyanin. That means if a person never indulges in anger in his heart, he will at once obtain whatever he has thought of. That means if someone doesn't have this anger, then whatever he wants, it will happen. It is easy for the one to obtain whatever he may think of if he can again think of it. That means if somebody can think of it again and again and again, he will be able to attain that. Now there is one more Subhashitam, that is basically this is on the Hitopadesha. Udyamena hi sathyanti karyanina manoratai nahi suptasya simhasya profeshanti mukhe mrigaha. That means, have you heard of a deer coming and entering into the mouth of a lion when he sleeps? Why are we led to believe that we can achieve success by merely thinking about it or coveting it? That means one can achieve success only by working hard and through dedication. So there are 2 things. In one Kural we say that if you think about certain things and then if you keep on thinking again and again same thing, and then with the determination you will be able to achieve it. So the determination is very important. If we remove the word determination, it doesn't have any meaning. The same thing is talked about in this Hitopadesha also. So this Hitopadesha is basically by the Narayana Pandita, and so what is more important is that you have to have a goal. You have to think about this again and again. That means you have to get into that completely, and then if you take action on that, you will be able to achieve it. So this is similar to what is talked about in Kaivalya Upanishad and Chandogya Upanishad, that is Tattvamasi. We all know what is Tattvamasi. So I'm not getting into that. So what is happening is in nowadays the the youth, they get distracted into various means and ways. So if they are able to concentrate on what they are supposed to do and then complete the task, then there is no problem. So there's one small story. In a village, there was a temple. Just on the opposite to the temple, there is a road, and on the other side of the road, there was a tree, and then there was a raised portion. One saint used to sit there on the raised portion every day in the morning, around the morning 6 o'clock onwards. He used to sit there, and then he used to start meditating every day, day in and day out. He used to do the meditation for hours together. So when he was doing this meditation, one day one lady came to take water from a well. So she was crossing the temple and then going the other side to take water, and then she was coming back with the water in a mud pot. And she was when she was going, there was a sound, because of her anklet, that is the pile. In Tamil we say kolusu, golusu. So that sound used to come jal 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 jal. So first few days, the saint was not at all giving any what do you call? He was not concentrating on this, and then he was concentrating mainly on his meditation. So and this lady used to come every day and then go back. For example, 9 o'clock, she used to come, take water from the pond or the well, and then within 5 minutes she used to go back. So this sound was little distracting him. So first for 1 week nothing was happening. On the 7th or 8th day, he just he heard the sound, and then after 1 or 2 days, he just opened his one eye and then see what is happening. And then afterwards, after a few days, he opened both the eyes and then he was looking at this lady. And this was going on. So this way, after a month's time, almost at the same time, 9 o'clock. So 8:55, this saint used to open his eyes, and then he used to wait for this lady to cross and go back. So he knows that this lady is going to come at 9 o'clock and go back at 9:05. After some time, one day this lady did not come at all. So he was waiting 9 o'clock, 9:05, 9:10, 10 o'clock. She was not coming. And next day also the same thing happened. So because of this distraction, he stopped meditating, and then he got into a kind of stress. This is the story which I used to tell when I used to visit the colleges or the schools to basically tell the students that how they should concentrate on studies and nothing else. So what happens is, over a period of time, because of it, we may think there's a small distraction, but then over a period of time, the small distraction becomes a big hurdle, and then one goes totally away from his goal. Now, Rajagopalachari, Rajaji, used to say that when someone reads Ramayana, Mahabharata, he used to get this kind of conviction, or the kind of willpower or the self-determination that he can get. There are examples in in Ramayana. We have Sita. Sita we call in Tamil as a Pormayin Sikaram. So she was asked to go to she went to the forest twice. First time when she went, it was on her own. herself accepted, and then she went to the forest. The second one was forced on her. So even then, she never lost her, the kind of, we call this porumai. So she never lost it, and then she had that willpower to get into all those things. Similarly, Satyavan, Savitri, she married to Satyavan. Savitri married to Satyavan, whose parents were blind. So when she was taking care of her father-in-law and mother-in-law. At the same time, she was taking care of her husband, and then she was also doing the puja. Um, so because of all these things, when Satyavan, then this is period was over. That means he was about to die. So she could see Yamadharma or Yamadharma's servants or this assistants coming and then taking Satyavan to either the Sarga or the Narak. So she could see, and then she starts going behind that person. So then Yamadharma says that you don't come with us, you are not allowed. So she says, no, 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 I have to come because he is my husband. So then, looking at her, perseverance, Ramadharma says, "What do you want? I am happy with you. So what do you want?" First, she says that my father-in-law and mother-in-law should get their eyes back, their eyesight back. He says, "Okay, tadastu." Then again, she continues. Then now she says, "Okay, I will give you one more boon. What do you want?" And she said that my father-in-law should get back the kingdom which he lost. So then again he says okay. Then again she goes behind Yamadharma. Then this time he was very much surprised, and then he says that okay, now I'm ready to give you one more boon. What do you want? So at that time she says that the son who is the son of me and Satyavan, that is our child, should become the king. So at this time, Yamadharma knows that okay, what she wants. So he gives back Satyavan, and then this is how she gets her job done. So this is a classical example of willpower. Similarly, Valmiki, he was originally a thief, and then Narada makes him into a saint, and then once Valmiki asked Narada, so who is the best person in the world, who is very bold, who is Dharmavan, and then who is Satyavan, and then who has got a fantastic willpower, etc., etc. So Narada says it is only one person, who is Rama, Lord Rama, and then based on that only, then Valmiki starts thinking that he should write Ramayana. There's one more instance. Once Vivekananda, when he went to London to his friend's farm, so then they were his friend's wife. They were all walking in the garden. Suddenly, one bull starts coming with a fierce look, and then it was coming towards his friend. It was running towards his friend. Then his friend's wife, she fell down, and his friend got frightened, and then he did not know whether to take care of his wife. Finally, since the bulls came very close to them, then he starts running. So at that time, Vivekananda, stands right, and then he says, I mean, he was ready to face the bull. Looking at Vivekananda, the bull takes a turn, and then it starts chasing his friend. So once everything is over, then his friend comes and asks Vivekananda, why, how come you were standing there, and then you were not scared? He said வருவது வரட்டும் சமாளிப்போம் என்ற மன உறுதி. This is what is very important. That means I had that willpower that whatever happens, let it happen. That kind of willpower I had, determination I had. And then there is one more thing also. These animals, when you stand right, it will not chase you. It will chase only those who start running. So when we have lots of problems in our life, then we should keep doing our own job, and then we should not really worried about that. And then if we are worried about that, the problems will chase us. Similarly, this is not a story, but then it is what exactly happened. This is about Ramana Maharishi. So Ramana Maharishi says, one person goes to Ramana Maharishi, and then he asks him. So, I mean, I am sometimes using present tense, sometimes using past tense, so don't worry about that. I want to develop willpower so that I can get what I want or achieve what I desire or control the world. So this is what the person asked Ramana Maharishi, and then Ramana Maharishi told him, give him answer. He said, there are two ways. There are two ways. The second way is inward oriented, and the first way is the outward oriented. The second way is inward oriented, spiritual and controlling one's mind. It can be considered as denying the ego's dictatorship and knowing the true nature of oneself. So that is what is very important. I want to develop willpower so that I can control my wandering mind, restrain my desires, gain mental strength to turn inward and realize the self. So we suppose if someone wants to get into monetary benefit, then that's the outward world. But if someone wants to use it for restraining desires, gain mental strength, etc., then it becomes the inward one, and then it is basically to realize the self. So when a devotee asks Maharishi, I am not able to gain the willpower, after many questions on willpower, Maharishi answered, your idea of willpower is success ensured. Willpower should be understood to be the strength of mind which makes it capable for meeting success or failure with equanimity and composure, evenness of temper. Success develops arrogance, and man's spiritual progress is arrested in that case. Failure opens the eyes of the man to his limitations and prepares him to surrender himself to the highest power, that is the God. Another example is that in 1906, when VOC, that is Vavu Chidambaram Pillai, he started his own Swadeshi ship company. He registered, and then 40,000 shares were there, rupees 10 lakhs of rupees total. That time 10 lakhs was too much, and Pandit Devar was the director for that. So VOC, he wanted to sell the shares, so he went around the entire India. At that time, before going, he said, நான் வந்தால் கப்பலோடு வருவேன், இல்லை என்றால் கடலில் மூழ்கி இறப்பேன். That means when I come back, I will come with the ship. Otherwise, I'll get myself drowned in the sea. So that kind of willpower and determination that he had, and he got the results. So his ship started going between Tuticorin and Colombo afterwards. And there's one more example. We all know about Edmund Hillary. Basically, Edmund Hillary was from New Zealand, Auckland, and he had that desire of going up and then touching the peak of Everest. In 1952, he tried to reach the peak, but because of the very bad, extremely bad climate, they had to abandon the trip after reaching almost 75% of the height. So he had to come back, and then he was very much disappointed. And when he went back to New Zealand, then one day he was given an invitation by somebody from England after a few weeks. So, but he was reluctant to go because he was highly disappointed. But at the same time, he wanted to have a break, so he said, "Okay, I will come, and then I will attend the meeting. He is ready to give the lecture." So, when he went there, and then he went on to the dais, there was thunderous applause. Thunderous applause, and it went on for minutes together. So Hillary was not at all able to speak. So at that time, everyone was really motivating him. At that time, he had a kind of he got into the willpower, saying that whatever there was a drawing or the photograph of a hill behind the dais. So he looked at the photo and then he told that you defeated me last time. Next time I will win. I will defeat you. So I am also going to grow like a mountain. That's what he said. And then finally he reached the target, and then his desire got fulfilled. Now going to the management side of it. In 2011, there was a survey done in US. 27% of the stress in America survey respondents said that the lack of willpower was the most significant barrier for change or success. There are three reasons for a failure. One is motivation is not there. Second one is behavior. Third one is the lack of willpower. So the ability to control yourself is what is called willpower. Strong determination that allows you to do something difficult is called willpower. People who are bad at resisting temptation have insufficient or underexploited willpower. So basically, the willpower gets distracted only when the temptation overtakes the willpower. There are many ways to measure the level of self-control. So I'll be using various terminologies like self-control, self-determination, then willpower, then conviction. So there is little difference between all of them, but then all of them are almost the same as what we call in Tamil as mana uruthi. So the self-control scale, one person wanted to measure how to whether you have self-control, and if you have self-control, how much it is. So he published a data in 2004 that is called the self-control behavior inventory. In 1975, he designed lots of questions, and that was called the self-control questionnaire and self-control schedule. This self-control is the capacity to change and adapt the self so as to produce a better and more optimal fit between self and the world. So there is world and then self. So now we look at the world and then we start having our desire. So the relationship between the self and the world, basically the comparison, and then identifying and then reaching that is the common thing for the self-control. Students with higher self-regulation received better grades in a computer course. There was a study done in 1988. So who were basically the students who all had good self-control, they had good marks in computer course. People with high self-control had better grades. So there are various in the study. There are various control points were also there. So the people with low self-control, fewer impulse control problems. So that I'm not getting into too much because we had gone through the questionnaire also. It's a very good questionnaire. If someone wants to get into that the questionnaire, and then based on that you want to know whether you have self-control or not, we can separately on one day we can discuss that. There is a what you call test called Stroop task test. You might have seen in WhatsApp also. You might have seen there are many colors. Now black. Suppose you write black, the word the letters BLACK, black, in let us say red, and yellow is there, and you write yellow in green color. So now if someone asks you to find out the actual color of the words, not what is written. Yellow is written in, let us say, in blue or something, but then when we see yellow, we should not say yellow, but we have to say blue. So that is how one's brain is getting controlled. So this test is called Stroop task test. There is one more you all might be knowing about, marshmallow test. This is a very, very famous test, basically to find out about the passions and also the determination. One professor was there. His name was Walter Mischel, and then basically from Stanford. And then one day what he did, he went to a classroom where many students were the children basically, And then I don't know how many children were there, say approximately 100 or more. And then what he did was he gave them, each one of them, he gave one toffee or one chocolate. And then he told them that you should not eat this chocolate for 10 minutes. I will come back after 10 minutes, and then if someone has not eaten a chocolate, then I will give them double the quantity of chocolates. Basically, he wanted to check who are all able to have that kind of patience, and then on the self control. So when he came back, most of the children had eaten, and then only 7 children were not, did not eat, and then they were waiting for the professor to come back. So they got double the quantity of chocolates. And after some time, the professor recorded their names, and then after a few years, he started tracking them, and then he found that all the 7 children became very, very successful when compared to the remaining students. The remaining students were okay, or they had problems in their life, but then these 7 students had lots of success in their life. So this is called the marshmallow test and marshmallow theory. And when he was explaining this, then he talked about he developed a framework called hot and cool system. So that is to basically how the willpower succeeds or fails. The cool system is cognitive thinking system, reminding you why you should not have that marshmallow. The hot system is impulsive, emotional part, and responsible for your response in certain triggers. So basically, when the impulse is there, that we get into the hot portion, and then we do. And when we are, when you have the determination, we are getting into the cool system. So the strong willpower is an important characteristic for the leaders in all positions. And you also must be knowing about mindfulness. There are lots and lots of articles about mindfulness. Dr. T.C. Nath, who is a coach in Delaware, he had written a book called Fearless Leaders, where he has written master fear, strengthen confidence. He says you have to master the fear and strengthen confidence and build executive presence and think in greater mindfulness. There's another person called, he did a very good project called Alpha. Michel O. Brockcha, the president of Johar Corporation, he said the project management is about applying common sense with uncommon discipline. Hard skills like planning can be learned, soft skills like team building can be practiced, but it is only through the essential leadership element of willpower that either of these two basic skills can produce project success. He came out with a theory saying willpower can be strengthened. So I told you about the Alpha project. The Alpha project was designed by Andy Crow, not Michel Brocktra. So this Alpha project managers, what the top 2% know that everyone else does not know is the crux of the Alpha project. After survey of around 5,000 project managers, the study focused on identifying the best project managers, referred as Alpha project managers. Alphas, basically they are dedicated double the amount of project time to actually doing the planning. So these Alpha managers, they spend a lot of time in planning. 21% of the total time on the planning they spent. Alphas were viewed as by others as being much more effective at performing the actual communication. 80% alpha and 49% non-alphas in communication. Alpha managers have the willpower to adhere to the basics of planning and communication. Then there is something called conviction also. So this conviction is an incredibly valuable but rare trait for the leaders. Now there is a difference between conviction and confidence. It is in short supply because our brains are wired to overreact to uncertainty with fear. And uncertainty, as uncertainty increases, the brain shifts control over the place where emotions like panic and anxiety are generated. Recently, I think you might have seen a survey done by USA, how world leaders handled COVID-19. That survey says our Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is way ahead when compared to 12 other world leaders in overall the scores. 13th position went to, there were 13 totally prime ministers considered, leaders considered, and 13th position went to France French prime minister with 25 -25% approval rating, and Japan had -23%. Australia and Mexico and India were in the last three. Australia in the third position with 27% scorecard, Mexico 29% approval rating, and our prime minister had 55% approval rating. So this shows very clearly that there is a big difference between the prime minister of India and even the prime minister of the second position, Mexico. So India, when the situation is in a cracks, or basically in a pandemic situation or in the emergency situation or in uncertainty situation, the leader has to have the kind of willpower and then that conviction, and then he has to act. So conviction is a threshold level beyond which one feels a high level of confidence about what he believes should be done. So it is a threshold level beyond that confidence level. Now we all heard about five levels of or the five functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, leading, controlling, etc. So this planning and organizing, they are all part of management, which were talked about by Thiruvalluvar 2000 years ago. This similarly the PDCA cycle, which is used as a Deming wheel: plan, do, check, act. So this is basically used for the continuous improvement in the process management, lean management, solving problems, managing change, etc. Now all these things were this planning and acting or the doing things were talked about by Thiruvalluvar long time back. There are some Bharatiyar said Manadil Urudhi Vendum, Vakinil Inime Vendum. Similarly in Bhagavad Gita also it is there. Asamsayam Mahabaho Manodur Nirgraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaundheya Vairagyena cha Grahyate. So that Vairagyam is very important. Again Bharatiyar says Endiyam Udithal Vendum, Nallave Ennal Vendum. And so not only Thiruvalluvar, we all talked about we had references from Arthashastra, we had references from Bhagavad Gita. So similarly, Idivai Narpad also says, Uyarvu Ulli Ukam Pirathal Inide, Uyar Vinay Ninaitu Ukatudan Valvadi Inidu. There is a Arabian proverb also that says that the man with willpower, he'll be, if he can even break a mountain. You may be knowing one story or actual thing what happened in 1968 when there was Olympic in Mexico. A person called John Stephen Aquadi from Tanzania, he went to participate in that marathon. Actually, the Mexican climate was not at all okay for this for most of the people, and then most of the participants had some problems. Similarly, this John Aquari, he also had problem. This is the last day of the marathon. Aquari from Kilimanjaro, he did not have practice in this extremely different climate. The total distance was 42 kilometers. He somehow managed to reach 30 kilometers. When he completed his 30 kilometers, he had lots of problems. He fell down many times, and then he had issues. And finally, the first place went to Ethiopia's person, and then he completed in 2 hours 20 minutes. But this person took another 1 hour, and then finally he reached the destination. By that time, most of the spectators had already left. So one person, media person, went and asked this person, "What happened now? You had taken more than almost 1 hour more, and then you were not well. You should have even the referees came and told you that why don't you withdraw, but you said no, and then you came till the end." So he said that my country had not sent me to start the marathon, they sent me to finish the marathon. So that kind of willpower that he had. So similarly, we can go on talking about lots and lots of things about Shivaji. We had so many people in our country who had the willpower. Nelson Mandela, so many, and there is no end to the kind of example that we can talk about. So we have covered not only what Kural says and all other literatures talk, most of the literature is talking about, and then we also went into examples and what are the similar management theories that we have on this subject. So now I request Mallika ji to talk on this subject. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Murli ji. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Most of the points of this particular Tirukkural, Murli ji has already covered. I do not want to repeat all those things. My only submission is that in this particular Tirukkural and also 2-3 other Tirukkurals falling after this, like 667 or 68, 669 and so on, they all similar to the Tirukkural number 666. In this entire chapter, chapter 67 of Tirukkural, if you notice, he talks about the conviction and the belief, the thought process which we should have to achieve something in life. If we have a particular thought, yes, I want to do this, I want to achieve this, that thought is not sufficient. Your actions should follow, and whatever actions we do should be in line with those thoughts. And the thoughts should not be just for 1 day or 2 days. It should be a continuous process, and the single-minded devotion is required for achieving the goal. So once the goal is set, we have to try and achieve it. But of course, you have to ensure that the goal is proper. We cannot have stupid goals. I cannot dream at the age of 60 or 70 or 80 that I should be the first to run in Olympics. It's not possible. That type of goals we cannot have. We have to have achievable goals. Once we have an achievable goal, we have to work out the strategies, how to achieve that particular goal. And then how to achieve that goal, we have to ensure and chalk out a particular process system for that. So Murli ji has given very nicely all the strategies required for corporates. I am going to tell a few things about the individuals who have followed these examples, whether in the ancient times or even in today's world. The best example is of Lord Krishna. He was the best planner. Strategic planning, we can always associate it with Lord Krishna. The Pandavas were only 5 in number, the Kauravas were 100 in number, still the number 5 could win against number 100. That's only because of Lord Krishna's strategic planning.
Is not working.
Yes.
I can't see anybody, any
Okay,
face.
okay. I'll try to talk a little
face
more
at all.
closer. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lord Krishna was the best example for
working.
Yes, sir.
Your
Are you
video
able to
may
hear?
not be working. I don't see.
No, the video she might not have
You
on
are
the
Is
video.
also getting cut off in.
Sir, if I on the video, you will not hear me. Only one will work. Either you can see me or you can hear me. I think it is better to hear. बंद रखा है मैंने. I have switched off the video. I have not on it. I'll on it at the later stage. Okay. So Lord Krishna, as I said, is the best strategic planner who has given us a vision. The entire battle of Mahabharat, Kurukshetra battle, the Pandavas could win because of this strategy. Lord Krishna, step by step, he decided who will fight against whom, who will stand where, who will be placed where, and how each person has to execute his task. He plus and minus, strength and weakness of everybody, and then he planned his actions and he ensured that these Pandavas, they took care of each of those aspects. Now we have the examples of Andar, Sant Meera. They had single-minded devotion. Their only thought in life was to go and achieve Lord Krishna's lotus feet. how to go and reach that level. They lived their entire life with that devotion towards Lord Krishna. The whole day, every day in the morning till night, they spent the day with that particular thought in mind, how to achieve this aim in life. That was the only goal for them. I will give you only two more examples from our own Indian community. Indian, yeah, I don't know how many of you all have heard of the name Mr. Mahadev Deka. I think very few people may be knowing about him today. Mr. Mahadev Deka is an engineer from Assam, working in Assam Public Health Department. He is 51 years old. He is well built, quite good looking. This man had only one aim in life when he was young. When he was young, he was really very good looking and very well built. All he wanted was to become a bodybuilder. And he wanted to take part in various championships and get success. And he worked for it. Everybody used to tell him, yes, you have a very good body, you will succeed. And he took part in many tournaments. Unfortunately, when he was 33 years old, in the year 2002, he got a heart attack. He was taken to the hospital, and when they opened the heart, they saw that they had to immediately perform open heart surgery. And there was a big lump in his chest. This particular person was in the hospital, bedridden for 3 months. The open heart surgery was done, and they also did chemotherapy for that lump. He was in the hospital for 3 months. When only 2 months were over, Mr. Mahadev Deka started asking the doctors, when can I go to the gym? When can I go to the gym? Sir, main gym kab jaunga? When can I join? This was his only question to the doctors every day who would come to check him. After a period of 3 months, the doctor checked him and then said, yes, now you can join the gym and you can start your workouts. He started doing all the workouts. In the year 2008, he became the runner-up bodybuilding championship contest. In the year 2009, he became Mr. Universe in Florida in the international championship tournament. This was meant. Despite the obstacles, see, when we have goals in life, there are bound to be obstacles. Nothing can be achieved in a very smooth or efficient manner. Nothing comes on a platter. We have to work for it. But Mr. Mahadev Deka is a great example of the problems that befall us. But if our aims and goals are such that they can take us forward, we can definitely achieve all that success. Another example I want to give is about our own organization, ISRO. We all know that ISRO had launched Chandrayaan-2 sometime in the beginning of last year. And Chandrayaan-2, unfortunately, could not make a soft landing. And even the Prime Minister was upset about it. Mr. Shivan, the big boss in ISRO, was upset. Let me tell you all that nobody is sitting idle in ISRO today. ISRO has already chalked out the future programs. Now in 2022-23, they are going to start Chandrayaan-3. They have already planned for it. Next year, they are going to do Aditya L1 launch for studying the outer surface of the sun. They have already come out with plans for Mangalyaan-2 and Mangalyaan-3. And they are also coming out with the plan for Shukrayaan. Now, these are the plannings already done. But for ensuring that these plans are achieved, they are working on the goals. The goals are set. Now they are working on the strategies. The strategies are also set. And now they're working on ensuring that these programs become successful. This is how successful leaders work. We have the examples, so many examples in life of Tata. The first Tata I'm talking about, Jamshedji Tata, 150 years, 200 years ago, so much of repulsion, so much of obstruction from the Britishers. But he managed to set up so many industries. Then we have examples of other business leaders who could establish so many other ventures despite problems coming up. We have the example of Mr. Sumant Mulgaonkar, who the vehicle Sumo, Tata Sumo is named after him. This man was so obsessed with building a Indian make vehicle which can run successfully on the mountainous terrain. Even during lunchtime, he used to go out with that idea and interact with truck operators as to what can be done to ensure success for having such a nice vehicle which will be totally Indian in nature. And he succeeded in it. That is why that vehicle is named after him. So these people have single-minded devotion. We have the example of Arunima Sinha. She had the biggest obstacle. She was a volleyball player, but she lost her legs in a train accident. In spite of that big setback, she continued with the goal. Her goal was to go up the mountain. She reached Mount Everest twice. We have the example of Sudha Chandran, who lost leg. Very good Bharatnatyam dancer, but she continued with her activity. She's a successful TV star. She is a dancer, and she's also doing many other activities. So this is my submission to you, that Tirukural talks of these aspects, that we have thoughts, we have ideas in our head, we have so many visions, but for those visions to become ideas and then to become goals and aims, we have to work towards it. We work towards achieving those goals, and if our work, our strategies, our planning and the goals, they are in same line, parallel to each other, then definitely we can achieve success. This is Tirukural's information given to us over the
Madam,
last
what
2000
is
years.
not heard properly.
Oh, okay, sir.
It was not heard properly.
Sir, this is the best I can do. I'm sitting very close to the laptop and talking through it.
I am able to hear properly.
Yes.
Absolutely correct. I don't know about everyone.
We also could hear very nicely. I think there may be something wrong at Dongreji's side. Possibly Wi-Fi.
I don't know, because sometimes even my laptop gives some problem, but today I'm sitting very close to the laptop and I've kept the windows open so that the network should be better. And anyway, I just want to tell one or two more things, that in our life, obstacles are bound to happen. There is no smooth sailing for anybody. Even Kabir Das had told
When
in
achievement is,
Doha that
when
if
achievement is
we want to
scored,
do
I did
swimming,
not have
we
any
want to
problem
go.
in listening or seeing his face.
सर अभी आपको सुनाई दे रहा है डोंगरे जी? So Kabir Das in his Doha, he says that if you want to go and cross the seas, you have to learn to enter the sea. Otherwise, if we have the fear, Arey, how can I do it? How can I do it? Then in that case, you will only be standing at the shore. You will never be able to cross the seas. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Mallika-ji. I think you had motivated all of us through your fine examples, many examples. Very nicely said. Can we have feedback from others also? Surajji, I saw your remark. Hear from
Absolutely brilliant, G. I mean, I think some of these sessions are so, how do I put it, eye-opening that, once I, for example, after listening to the session, I'll go and read more. So it's a phenomenal amount of motivation for people like me who have kind of, for a long time, being disconnected in a sense, or being very superficial about such phenomenal amount of the phenomenal depth that we have in our philosophy, culture, and spirituality. So thanks, Mallika ji. This is just absolutely brilliant. What a way to begin 2021.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
May I speak for a minute?
Yes, please.
You can also say something to motivate me. डोंगरे जी, आप कुछ बोलिए.
Yeah, see, the examples that you gave were really good, but I would say they were mostly solo performers. In life, when some project is to succeed, you naturally need good counselors. Mantrana karne wale mantri chahiye. This is what is really required. And if one does not have them, then it is very difficult that success will be achievable.
Correct, Ji. You said it properly. There, yes, we need to have good counsel. Good teamwork is necessary for any work. Of course, where others, the dependency on others are not required. Yes, they themselves can do it. But then in the organization, we need to have teamwork. It's correct.
I say it is like this. What Madam said, talked about, was doing sankalpa unless you are determined. But our mind is defined as the one which does sankalpa and vikalpa. Normally, people translate vikalpa as something which is against sankalpa. I will put it this way: vikalpa would also mean different ways of achieving that. Kalpa means yojana. So that same thing can be achieved by different ways. And that is what is generally missed by the people who do the solo performance.
Dongreji, what you said is very nice, because what we say yojana is idea and sankalpa is resolution to make that idea into a reality. So both are required. First level is to have an idea to do. Yes, should I do this? Should I do that? And once you have decided, you have a fixed idea, then you go for the goals. Then how do I do it? Then the procedure part of it. And it depends on individuals. See, like I gave you the example of Meera or even Andar or even other Surdas. They were all individuals who could achieve great success. They did not go for teamwork. They managed by themselves. But we have others also in corporate world. We need a teamwork. We need the support of everybody in the group. And for that, of course, we have a leader who will be doing that role. I think other people in the group also can join in this discussion. This is a very interesting part, that ideas and goals and resolutions. I think everybody can talk about this.
This is Perumal.
Yes, sir.
I want to share, but whether that is related to this our topic or not. I have read some newspaper and information. It's more or less coincide with this thing. There is an American President Roosevelt when he was candidate, and he want to approach nearing 3 lakhs people. He cannot go directly, so he make a printout with his photo. But one of his assistant asked him, "You have your photo, but this photo was taken by some other studio man. Have you got a permission from the studio man? If you are not getting permission, he may claim $1 per every photo printing. So you have to pay 3 lakhs rupees to that photo man, the cameraman." So immediately other assistant convinced him, "Okay, you wait. I will talk with the photo man." And immediately he talked with the photo man. See, Roosevelt want to send a letter, requesting letter with your photo, what you be taken. But this is a good advertisement to you, and mostly it will go for 3 lakhs people. Sir. How much you will give for this purpose? Yeah, sir, I am not in a position to give much, sir, but I can give 250 pounds only. 250 pounds only. Okay, you will give, we will print it. So this is the way that assistant has managed a problem to send all these letters. Sir, I will say more or less because some counseling is needed. Just madam told some counseling is needed for any success. So this is one of the counseling. Some assistant to success for Roosevelt as a presidency. Whether this is related to our topic or not, but this I have read in a newspaper, so it was very. I want to share this information to this group. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ji. Thank you.
Your talk and Madam Mallika is very excellent. It's a comprehensive about management system, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you. Ambalavananji.
Yeah, namaste.
Namaste.
Two things are there. One, regarding the later topic which Dongreji has said, that I'm not dwelling on that. I'm going to talk about the first, what is that is our continuous effort in order to achieve the things, how important it is. I remember an incident which I read in Uwe Swaminathan Iyer's life incident. Actually, during the First World War, there was an announcement that the Chennai is going to be bombed. So they have asked the people from Chennai to move out from Chennai as early as possible. So many people were taking their belongings and going out of Chennai. And Uwe Swaminathan Iyer, and he wants to know, because he has a lot of this Tamil Volaichuvadi, all the palm leaf things were there with him. So he want to preserve that because he had put in a lot of efforts to collect all those things. So he sent out to various Matadipatis, the Mat heads all over Tamil Nadu, how to save these things. Can you just come out with some ideas? Then immediately they have this one, that there is a place called the Thirukazhukundram. There is a Mat property is available. So they said that if you want, you can shift the things there. Then what he had done is, in 13 bullock carts, he had loaded all his stuffs, whatever he wants to load, and then he moved to Thirukazhukundram. At last, they found that in the entire 13 cart, not even a single belongings of him was there. Everything was only palm leaf thing was carried to Thirukazhukundram, and because of that only we could able to get so many Tamil literatures even today. Because this is one, his life aim was only to ensure that maximum number of palm leaf things are collected and it is preserved and it is passed on to the next generation. With that in mind, he was striving for that throughout his life, and this is an example how he could able to save and pass it on to the next generation also.
Excellent example.
Very
Thanks,
good,
Ambalavananji.
very good, Deep. I also had read about, the problems he faced in collecting the palm leaf manuscripts, and then how to preserve them, how to store them, how to keep them away from miscreants. It was a very difficult task in those days, but he managed it. And now you have explained it very nicely. Thank you, sir.
And I think after that he stayed in Thirukazhukundram only. Correct, na, Ambalavananji? After that he didn't come back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May I say that yes, he is toward the literature in a safe place. But the real problem is that how to find the meanings which are really intended by the authors in them. There you need real help from different people, from different walks of life.
That's correct. Any comments from others? Purti ji, Igna ji?
जी नमस्ते गिराम सुब्रमण्यम both speech were excellent. It was highly motivating, and I just like to add a few more on that. First one is to achieve or to achieve a goal in a life or achieve anything, any project or any sort of things, first of all, we need to have a clear planning. Once we have a planning, we should start as an individual, start dreaming that as like is achieved, and then go with a clear determination and the involvement and chase the dream. Something this is something similar to the when we want to travel to a new place, then we use the Google Map, some sort of things. Once you set the destinations, and then what happened, we will just start moving into the direction to achieve the goal. Something similar to that, because this, see, the nature somehow the mother is ready to give you everything whatever you need, but the only thing is we need to prepare ourselves to capable to receive that whatever she gives. So it is a question of time, dedication, and clear goal. And exactly the Malikaji said, you need to be a very practical in setting the goal. That's more important. I think it's one of the brilliant speeches. I think it's a really what someone said. Yeah, exactly. It is really boosted. Even at this age, I really, still I need to work out some of things to achieve my goal. Thank you.
That is why the management is saying the goals will have to be smart. So similar to what Malikaji said, simple, measurable, all those.
Yeah, today
Yeah.
even if you look at today, even if you look at the youngsters, everyone wants to be good in life, rich, and but the issue is the big what I see missing is the planning. Their planning and their dedication and their involvement. That's what's I think the missing in the current generation versus the previous generations.
I would say Raja Kalasya Karanam. This is a very important statement. It was asked whether Kal is the cause of Raja or Raja is the cause of Kal. If you see what America is doing, why they are prosperous, the reason is most of the young people came from China, India, and other countries and studied there and continued and made good contribution on the front of innovation. The local people there who have been living there in America for last 150 years or so, that population has not contributed much. This is what I have observed. And I would say that yes, this is the way America has gone up. You take any example of Microsoft or whatever, and you will find that yes, most of the things are invented by the people who have come from outside.
Any other comments from others?
ஐயா ஐயா ஐயா
சொல்லுங்க.
நான் மூர்த்திங்க ஐயா.
சொல்லுங்க மூர்த்திஜி. மூர்த்திஜி சொல்லுங்க. வணக்கம்.
தமிழ்ல பேசலாங்களா?
பேசுங்க பேசுங்க.
ஐயா தமிழ்ல பேசலாங்களா? ஐயா
தமிழ்லயே பேசுங்க. நீங்க வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு ஆடியோலயே பேசுங்க. மூர்த்திஜி சரியா கேட்கல, நீங்க உங்க வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு பேசுங்க.
ஐயா
சரியா கேட்கல, பரவாயில்ல, இப்ப பரவாயில்ல.
கிட்டக்க கொஞ்சம் உட்காந்து பேசுங்க, கொஞ்சம் கிட்டக்க போய்.
கேக்குதுங்களா ஐயா?
சரியா கேட்கல, இருந்தாலும் பேசுங்க.
பேசுங்க, எனக்கு கேக்குறது.
ஐயா, அந்த அந்த குரல் வந்து எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஐயா. காரணம் வந்து இதுல வர எல்லாம் ஷேர் பண்ண நிறைய விஷயங்கள் வந்து என்னுடைய பள்ளி மாணவர்களை மோட்டிவேட் பண்ணி அவங்கள வந்து நான் என்னோட பள்ளி கொண்டு கண்டிப்பா அந்த விஷயங்கள் எல்லாம் ஷேர் பண்ண விஷயங்களை கண்டிப்பா இந்த குரலுக்கு பொருத்தமான பார்த்த ஒரு காட்சி என்ன போயிருந்தேன். சிறுவர்கள் வந்து அந்த கடற்கரை மணல்ல வந்து விளையாடுறாங்க. அந்த கடற்கரை மணல்ல வந்து ஒரு கட்டி வச்சு
மூர்த்தி ஐயா, உங்களோட வாய்ஸ் ரொம்ப பிரேக் ஆகுது. வாய்ஸ் ரொம்ப பிரேக் ஆகுதுங்க மூர்த்தி ஐயா, கொஞ்சம்
இல்லைங்க, இப்போ பிரேக் ஆகுது.
பிரேக் ஆகுது.
இப்ப பேசுங்க.
இப்ப கேக்குதுங்களா?
உங்க வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிடுங்க.
வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டுக்கிறேங்க ஐயா.
இப்போ இப்ப பேசுங்க. கேக்குறது.
அது கடற்கரையில நான் சிறுவர்கள அந்த தூணை வந்து பெரியவர்கள் எட்டக்கூடிய அளவிலும் சிறியவர்கள் வந்து ஜம்ப் எட்டக்கூடிய அளவிலும் இருக்குதுங்க. அதுல அவங்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு போட்டி ஒண்ணு நடக்கிறத நான் பார்த்தேன். அது என்ன போட்டின்னா, அந்த 4 சிறுவர்களும் இல்ல ஒருத்தர் வந்து மிகவும் உயரம் குறைவாகவும் மீதி 3 சிறுவர்கள் வந்து உயரத்தில் ஓரளவு இருந்தாங்க. அவங்க போட்டி ஒண்ணு நடக்குது. அது என்னன்னா, அந்த ஆலயமணியை யார் தொட போறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த சிறுவர்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு போட்டி ஒண்ணு வருதுங்க. அப்போ வந்து ஒவ்வொருவனா முதல்ல போயிட்டு லாங்ல இருந்து ஓடிட்டு வந்துட்டு அந்த மணியை வந்து ஒவ்வொருவரும் தட்டுறாங்க. முதல் சிறுவன் தட்டிடுறான், எட்டி பிடிச்சிடுறான். இரண்டாவது சிறுவனும் டச் பண்ணிட்டு நான் டச் பண்ணிட்டேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஏதோ ஒரு பெரிய சாதனை செஞ்சுட்டு மாதிரி அந்த மாணவனும் அந்த சிறுவனும் சொல்லிட்டு நான் ஒரு பெரிய சந்தோஷத்தோட வெளியே போறான். மூன்றாம் அவனும் நான் வந்து ஜம்ப் பண்றான், அதை வந்து டச் பண்ணிட்டு ஆஹா நான் டச் பண்ணிட்டேன் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ப்ளஷரோட அவன் வந்து அந்த இடத்த விட்டு லீவ் பண்றான். அடுத்தது கடைசியா அந்த உயரம் குறைவான அந்த சிறுவன் வந்து அந்த ஆலய மணியை தொடர்றதுக்காக மிக தொலைவிலிருந்து ஓடிட்டு வரான். ஓடிட்டு வந்து ஜம்ப் பண்ணும்போது அவனால ஜம்ப் பண்ண முடியல. இதுக்கு வந்து 3 ஆப்ஷன் வைக்கிறாங்க. 3 ஆப்ஷன்லயும் அந்த சிறுவன் வந்து அந்த ஆலய மணியை தொட முடிறதில்ல. மீதி இருக்கிற அந்த மணியை தொட்ட அந்த 3 சிறுவர்களும் உயரம் குறைவானவனை பார்த்து இந்த மாதிரி உன்னால தொட முடியல அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அங்க வந்து அந்த 3 சிறுவர்களும் போயிடுறாங்க. அப்போ அந்த உயரம் குறைவான சிறுவன் வந்து அந்த இடத்துல இருந்து போறதுல அங்கேயே உட்கார்ந்துட்டு அவன் என்ன பண்றான்னா ரொம்ப நேரம் யோசிச்சுட்டே இருக்கிறான், நம்மளால ஏன் தொட முடியல, நம்மளால ஏன் தொட முடியல அப்படின்னுட்டு அவனை வருத்தம் அவன் கண்ணுல தெரியுது. இப்ப அந்த சிறுவன் பண்றான்னா கொஞ்ச நேரம் பொறுத்து மீண்டும் ஒரு ட்ரை பண்றான். இருந்துட்டு ஓடி வந்துட்டு இப்ப அவனால தொட முடியுது. அந்த காட்சி பார்க்கறதுக்கு மிக அழகாக இருந்தது. அவனுக்குள் இருந்த அந்த மன உறுதி, முடியும் அப்படிங்கிற மனத்திடம் அவர்கள் போயிட்டும் அவங்க தொட்டாங்க, என்னாலையும் தொட முடியுங்கிற மன உறுதி, அந்த டிட்டர்மினேஷன் இருந்ததுனாலதான் அந்த சிறுவனால் அந்த ஆலய மணியை தொட முடிந்தது. மிகச்சிறந்த ஒரு வெற்றி. இதை வந்து இந்த காட்சியை வந்து பார்க்கறதுக்கு மிக அழகாக இருந்ததுங்க ஐயா. ஸோ மன உறுதியும் மனத்திடமும் இந்த நம்மிடம் இருந்தால் எத்தகைய செயலையும் நம்மால் சாதிக்க முடியும், ஜெயிக்க முடியும் அப்படிங்கிற விஷயத்த அந்த காட்சியிலிருந்து நான் தெரிந்து கொண்டேன். இந்த செய்தியை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள வாய்ப்பளித்ததற்காக அனைவருக்கும் நன்றிங்க ஐயா. நன்றி நன்றி நன்றி.
ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னீங்க ஐயா, ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னீங்க. நாங்களும்
தேங்க்யூங்க
நேர்ல பார்த்த மாதிரி இருந்தது.
தேங்க்யூங்க ஐயா.
ம். ரவிஜி, உங்களுடைய கருத்துக்கள்.
நான் கேட்டிருந்தேன். பிரமாதமா இருக்கு இன்னைக்கு. எல்லாருமே நல்லா பேசினாங்க.
ம்.
நீங்க பேசுங்க, உங்க கருத்து கேட்கணும்.
ஆ?
உங்களோட கருத்து, உங்களோட எண்ணம்.
Your view.
திருவள்ளுவர் எண்ணம் வேண்டாம், அது ஆயிடுச்சு. திருவள்ளுவரோட எண்ணம் எல்லாம் ஆயிடுச்சு. இப்போ உங்களோட எண்ணம்.
கஷ்டமா தான் இருக்கு எனக்கு. நான் வந்து இப்போ எதுவும் இல்லையே என்கிட்ட.
ஆக்சுவலி இந்த குரல்ல இருந்து நம்ம we have to now get into our vision of our group's vision for this year. எப்படி how we have to have our goals and how to achieve them, though there will be lots of issues. So we have to do that.
May I say that what we are up to is to achieve Abhyudaya, which is prosperity in this material life. Our sciences always tell us that Abhyudaya and Nishreyas both are important and how to achieve that.
Yeah, correct. There is nothing else. Can we conclude, Raviji?
Yeah.
G, I have just one, not a question or maybe a suggestion, humble suggestion. நம்மளோட Hindu Genius groupல வந்து the amount of information flows through in the group was amazing. So, but it's what's happening here is the entire information stay within the group. That's what I'm little concerned. The people who share the information, especially the heritage and our history, our like today's meeting, there are so many informations flows through within the group. So how we take these informations into the generation, the next generations, because that generation is it's right now tied in the the fast pace of life, digital, and they are now mostly how we are going to take it to the next level. That's what's our, even I was talking to PT Rajan that day. So something some sort of a, yeah, maybe considering the current technology, that we could do it like a small flyer, small flyers, and then share it with the group, and then we can spread it across. So this is my suggestion. Like last time I'm in the group for last more than 6 months, but I saw the amount of information what I gained. Maybe that could be benefit for across the, not only for our generation, but the next generation, the next generations, because the next generations not aware of our ancient histories and our values, our so how we are going to take it to the next level. That was our questions, my question, maybe my suggestions or whatever, my just humble suggestions.
I had an occasion to speak to different people on the subject of why there are conflicts in the family or in a group, you will realize that conflicts arise out of ego, different perspectives of the individuals, etc. Yes, but now let us say today family has become a problem rather than an advantage. Because people have different views. The younger generation does not follow the mother tongue and needs to be taught or communicated only in English.
வச்சிருக்கியா அப்ப கொஞ்ச நேரம் கழிச்சு வரேன்.
Now, here, there can be different views. As I said, now for example, to give you an example, some people have the habit of talking very loudly, whereas some people just can't tolerate that kind of a talk in high pitch. Some people like to have lot many lights in the room. Some people feel no, it should be very, very mild and as much minimum as possible. Now, these are the things which happen in a family. Why they happen? They have certain relation with the body tissues of the different family members. Rasa, Rakta, Mausa, Meda, Asthi, Majja, Shukra. They need to be understood. I'll just give you an example and then finish off. The Rasa Dhatu is not strong, then you cannot listen to the talk in the high pitch. You cannot allow the lights to be on. You would prefer as many faint lights as possible. This is just to give an example.
Malika ji, do you have any answer for Ramu Subramanianji's question? How do we take it further?
If we have any YouTube channel, we have as a special channel, we can upload this information to that channel. That can be viewed for everybody. If we have a separate YouTube channel for product management, it will be useful for every week we can upload our discussion. This is kind information.
Okay, think about that. Okay, Raviji, if there is anything else, shall we conclude?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. A wonderful session. Malika ji, special thanks to you. You had your explanation was fantastic. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot to everyone else.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
ஹலோ ரவிஜி
ஆஹா
இருக்கேடா
இருக்கேன்
இருக்கேடா
இருக்கேன் சொல்லுங்க.
ஜி இந்த உங்களுக்கு இந்த டிஆர் ரமேஷ் ஒருத்தர் இருக்கார் இல்லையா, டிஆர் ரமேஷ்னு.
டிஆர் ரமேஷ் யார் அவரு?
அந்த நம்ம டெம்பிள் ப்ரிசர்வேஷன்ஸ்க்காக வேண்டி நிறைய ஹெல்ப் நிறைய கேஸ்லாம்
குரூப்ல இருக்காரா?
குரூப்ல இல்ல, பட் ஹி இஸ் அ வெரி அந்த அந்த டெம்பிளுக்காக வேண்டி கோர்ட்லாம் போய் சுப்பிரமணிய சாமி கூட இருந்து
ஆமா ஆமா
ஆமா
ஆஹா.
ஆமா
சொல்லுங்க
அவரோட நிறைய வீடியோ எல்லாம் பார்த்தேன், அவரோட நிறைய ஆர்டிகல்ஸ் எல்லாம் பார்த்தேன். ஐ திங்க் அதான் பார்த்தேன். உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது கான்டாக்ட்ஸ் இருந்தா எனக்கு இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் பண்ணியிருந்தா அவருக்கு ஏதாவது ஹெல்ப் வேணும்னா மேபி வி கேன் எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் சம்திங் த்ரூ அவர் இந்த ஏன்னா அவரோட பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவரோட ஃபைட்ஸ் அகேன்ஸ்ட் ஸ்பெஷலி ஒரு பெரிய தர்ம யுத்தம் மாதிரி பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு, ஸ்பெஷலி இது ஃபார் டெம்பிள்ஸ் மூவ்மெண்ட்ஸ்க்காக வேண்டி. அதான் அவருக்கு ஏதாவது ஹெல்ப் ஏதாவது செய்யணும். எனக்கு தெரியாது அவரை, அதான் உங்களுக்கு யாராவது தெரியுமா?
அவர் தான் கேட்கலாம். அப்போ ஒருவேளை ராஜன் தெரியுமான்னு கேட்கலாம்.
ராஜன்ஜிக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கலாம். பிளஸ் இந்த சாய் தீபக் ஒரு குரூப் வச்சுட்டு இருக்காரு. ஹீ இஸ் சப்போர்ட்டிங் ஹிம் ஃபுல்லி. அது பேர் வந்து இண்டிக் ரெனைசான்ஸ் ஏதோ ஒரு குரூப் வச்சுட்டு இருக்காரு. சாய் தீபக், அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒன் மோர் பர்சன் இன் சென்னை. தே ஹேவ் அ பிக் டீம்.
Okay.
They are fully backing him, this Ramesh. All the legal support they are helping him.
Something necessary, then more people should back him.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
அதான் மேபி அவரோட நிறைய கேஸ், அவரோட நிறைய வாட்ஸ்அப் அவரோட இதுல ஃபேஸ்புக்கில் நிறைய படிச்சுட்டு இருந்தேன். ஏன்னா ஒவ்வொருத்தையும் எழுதியிருந்தார், டைம் இல்லை, ஸோ ஐ எம் ஜஸ்ட் என்ன என்னால் முடியல அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு எழுதுது. அப்புறம் நிறைய கேஸ் அவரோட இன்டர்வியூ நிறைய பார்த்தேன். ஸோ மேபி வி தாட் மேபி வி கேன் ஹெல்ப் ஹிம், மேபி
கேட்கவே வேண்டாம், ஹெல்ப் பண்றவங்க ரொம்ப குறைவாக தான் இருப்பாங்க.
அதான் நம்ம அவருக்கு இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் கிடைச்சதுன்னா அவருக்கு எந்த டைப் ஆஃப் ஹெல்ப், ஏதோ ஒரு சின்ன ஹெல்ப், நம்ம ராமாயணத்துல அணிகள் இந்த அணில் போட மாதிரி நமக்கு ஒரு சின்ன ஏதாவது முடிஞ்சா நம்மளால ஹெல்ப் பண்ண முடிஞ்சா மேபி இந்த ப்ராட் ஆடியன்ஸையும் உள்ள கொண்டு வரலாம். அதான் அந்த I was just thinking, அதான் உங்கள்கிட்ட பார்த்து பேசலாம்னு பார்த்தேன். உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் பண்ணிருந்தா. ஆமா, ஏன்னா துபாயில வந்து அம்பலவாணன், ஆமா துபாயில அம்பலவாணன் இருக்கார். மேபி அங்க இருந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ்ல எல்லாரையும் மீட் பண்ணி மேபி அவளுக்கு ஒரு நமக்கு in case if you need some fund or something we can generate and we can maybe support them. அதான் பார்த்தேன்.
Right. मूर्ति ரொம்ப அருமையா பேசினாரு. मूर्ति कैमरा एல்லாம் ऑन பண்ணலாமே. डोंगरे जी आप अपना कैमरा ऑन कर सकते हैं? पहले मैं अपना करता हूँ. ரொம்ப அருமையா இருக்கு. நீங்க மிட்டூர்ல இருக்கீங்கல்ல? மிட்டூர். रामसुब्रमण्यम निकलो कैमरा. या वेरी गुड. डोंगरे जी, धनंजय कैमरा ऑन करा ना? तो नहीं है इसका म्यूटेड. ராமசுப்ரமணியன் நீங்க டிராவலிங் பண்றீங்களா? இல்லையே, நடந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்களா?
I disconnected myself, but it is not getting disconnected. I don't know how.
Oh, but why don't you put your camera on? Let's meet each other at least face to face.
Now can you see?
Not yet. Yeah, now I can see, but your camera you have to tilt it, or tilt your mobile or your, so that we can see your, now we can see a bit. Yeah, shoulder is not seen. In passport they say the shoulder must be seen.
Yes, it's true. Now probably.
Now we can see. Yes. Thank you. There is a very famous person, Narendra Ji, Dongre Maharaj.
Dongre Maharaj. Namaste, namaste, Dongre ji Maharaj.
If Dongre Maharaj is coming to any village, any town, any city in Gujarat, no need for any advertisement.
Oh, wow.
50,000 people will be there.
Fantastic.
See, India is a land of such great personalities. No other part of the world you will see this. If a pope goes to, say, Argentina, which are all poor countries, first day there will be a lot of people. And then second day and third day, nobody comes to hear him a third time. But yet they have Bhagavad Sapta all the 7 days. In Gujarat, there is one person, I forget his name, great person. He gives very nicely. It's better to remember his name. I forget his name.
So about Dongre Maharaj, I had attended his Saptaha in Mumbai. It was long time. He's no more. It was
He's no more. He's no more. Yeah.
But the speciality was, for 2 days, the Mumbai share market was kept closed so that people could attend.
My God.
My God.
There's one more person in Gujarat. Actually, is when he was giving 7 days lecture in London, Lata Mangeshkar had gone there. She was sitting on the floor. And this person told, see, you are such a big person. Why don't you sit on the dais with me? She said, no, I have come here as a devotee, not as a icon or something. And she was sitting all 7 days. She was sitting on the floor and listening.
BJP.
This is the power of our interest. In Gujarat, there was another miracle. This person in Gujarat, the fishermen near Dwarka, there is a type of fish. It's a whale. It's called blue whale. It lays eggs only on the shores of Gujarat. Only in Dwarka, nowhere else. The fishes are all devotees of Lord Krishna. They go around the world all the time, but at the time of their laying eggs, they come only here. They lay the eggs. At that time, the fishermen will be, whatever they earn throughout the year, they earn within 1 week. So there's a competition between them to catch. Some of these whales will be, the mother whales will be weighing in tons. So they make a lot of money. The environment specialist came and said, please don't kill them because they are endangered species, so you should not hunt them. Then government of India also said, we'll punish you, you should not do this and all. But poking was going on. This Swamiji, he came and gave one lecture only for the fishermen, and he told them that whenever a lady is about to give birth to a child, she goes to her mother's house at that time. All these fishes, they think Bharat Mata as their mother. They are coming here to lay there for the next progeny. Is it proper to kill them? These fishermen took an oath on the shore. 5,000 of them, they said, we will not kill them. Not only that, we will not kill, we will not allow anybody else to kill, because there are a lot of Muslims. They will say, oh, that is, we will do it. They said, we will not allow anybody to kill. What the government of India could not do, what the environmental specialists could not do, what the so-called Lutyens gang could not do, one Hindu religious leader could change that.
Brilliant. I can imagine.
This Swaminarayan Sampradaya of Gujarat has done a lot of work on making people vegetarians.
Yeah.
Their initial followers were from Rajput sect. They were Rajput
I see.
kings. And this the one who known as this initiator of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya. He was called as Shriji Maharaj. He was not from Gujarat. He came from Ayodhya side.
A person comes from Ayodhya 400 years before, at the time of Akbar. He has more devotees in Gujarat than in Ayodhya. Another Swamiji from Gujarat goes to Punjab, Swami Dayananda Saraswati. There are so many Arya Samajis in North India, but not in Gujarat.
Very true. Very true. Our
A
Dongre
person
Maharaj
of Telugu origin writes devotional songs on Telugu in Telugu language while staying in Tanjavur near Tiruvayyaru. Is all the people who sing his songs are Tamil people who cannot pronounce Telugu properly. The Telugu people will sing only Annamacharya.
Correct.
They will not sing Tyagaraja.
Yeah, that's true.
And for the Tamil people, tears will roll down when they sing the songs of Tyagaraja because full of bhakti,
Full of bhakti.
Rama. So, spiritualism, religious things, they cut across these barriers. DMK and all, what they will understand. ராமகிருஷ்ணன்ஜி ஒரு செயல் செய்யலான்னு நான் நினைக்கிறோம். தமிழ் புத்தாண்டு வரப்போகிறது ஏப்ரல் மாதம். I'll speak in English. There are two calendars in India. One is based on moon, so Tithi will come. Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi. Chaturthi means Ganesh Chaturthi. Panchami means Naga Panchami. Shashti means Skanda Shashti. Like that it will go. The other one is the solar calendar. In Punjab, in Nepal, in Vietnam, in Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, all follow this solar calendar. Always it is 13th or 14th of April. So in the solar calendar, Tamil Nadu also celebrates 14th of April. Some years before, Karunanidhi said, no, we will not celebrate 14th of April. We will say Thiruvalluvar's 14th of Thai Pongal. So we will call it as New Year. But nobody in the temple ever followed him. They may vote for DMK, but they will not follow him. So finally, he had to cancel that. And again, 14th of April is now restored as a holiday. So we thought that on that day we will celebrate as Deiva Tamil Tiruvila. Deiviga Tamil means we have devotional songs in Tamil. By Nayanmar's Tevaram is there, by Alvar's Divya Prabandham is there, Lord Muruga, Tirupugal is there, but government of DMK has banned all these songs. It's never taught in any of these schools. They will stop with Sangam literature, Silapadigaram, that all ends in the 4th century. Then starts the Bhakti movement in Tamil Nadu. The whole Bhakti movement period is removed from Tamil history. But people still remember all these things. Tirupugal and all people remember. So we thought, Deiviga Tamil Tiruvila. So we will have
Ulaga Deviga Tamil.
Ulaga, because it will be worldwide. So it should be an answer for these leftist people who create a false narration through literary festivals. So we said we'll do it this way. So let's see how we can get a lot of speakers to come and speak on that day. 2 days or 3 days of festival. But we want a good number of people to attend and listen to them. It will be very, very useful. We try our best to that.
Which day?
14th of April.
14th of April. Okay. We need to see here. This is date. We need to. அதுக்கு ஹாலிடே பார்க்கணும்.
பார்க்கலாம்.
மிடில் ஈஸ்ட்ல புதன்கிழமை அது ஆக்சுவலா இங்க ஒர்க்கிங் டே.
April 14th is a Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
Is a Thursday. And 16th will be Friday. We can have 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
பண்ணலாம்
Or
பண்ணலாம்.
you want a Thursday, no?
No, they want Friday. Middle East would want a Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
இந்த சைடில் மேபி தோஹா அந்த சைடில் வந்து மேபி நான் கேன் அந்த மீட்டிங் ஐ கேன் ஃபார்வர்ட் டு மை ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் மேபி அம்பலவாணன் ஈவன் துபாய் சைடு ஆல்சோ ஐ கேன் ஃபார்வர்ட் தென் மேபி அம்பலவாணன்ஸ் ஜி he can take something in the other side. Maybe, yeah, we can bring some good crowd.
And we need speakers from different parts of the world. So if there are some good speakers in Dubai area,
Yeah.
be good.
நானா ஐ கேன் கெட் நீங்க ஜஸ்ட் டாபிக் மட்டும் சொல்லுங்க என்ன டாபிக் வேணும்னு. இங்க வந்து தமிழ் டோஸ்ட் மாஸ்டர்னு ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு 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 கிளப் இருக்கு. அதுல இருந்து வி கேன் பிரிங் நம்ம சிந்தனையாளர்கள் நிறைய இருக்காங்க பேசுறதுக்கு. ஈவன் நம்ம போன வாரம் நம்ம வந்து போன வாரம் இங்க இது இருந்தது, ஒரு பட்டிமன்றம் இருந்தது. பட்டிமன்றம் இது வந்து அமிச்சிருந்தான் நினைக்கிறேன் எல்லாருக்கும். அது வந்து பாரதி மன்றம்னு நம்ம சிந்தனையாளர் அவதான் விஸ்வநாத் ஜிக்கு எல்லாரும் தெரியும். ஸோ அவங்க தான் வந்து கேட்டு இருக்கும் போது வெளி ஸ்பீக்கரை போய் பார்க்கும்போது தேர் ஆஸ்கிங் மணி 50,000 1 lakh rupees ஃபார் இந்த நடுவரா இருக்கிறதுக்கு அவ கேட்குறாங்க. ஸோ அப்போ நான் பேசிட்டு இருக்கும் போது நான் சொன்னேன், நம்ம எண்ணங்கள் அது சரி வராது. நம்ம சிந்தனைகளுக்கும் எண்ணங்களுக்கும் பைசா கொடுத்து ஒரு ஸ்பீக்கரை வந்து பண்றது வந்து சரி கிடையாது. அந்த பைசாவை வந்து மற்ற நல்ல காரியங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணலாம். நிறைய லேபர்ஸ் இருக்காங்க, நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து இந்த நம்ம இறந்து போனவங்களுக்கு வந்து இங்க இருந்து ஹெல்ப் பண்ணக்கூடிய அந்த நிறைய ஒரு அமைப்புகள் இருக்கு. ஸோ அந்த அமைப்புகளுக்கு அந்த பைசாவை பே பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு. சரி சார், நீங்க உங்களுக்கு யாராவது தெரியுமா அப்படின்னா லாஸ்ட்ல எனக்கு மேனேஜர் கீழாம்பூர் சங்கர் சுப்பிரமணியன் as a நடுவர். ஸோ ஹீ செட் ஓகே சுப்பிரமணியன், ஐ வில் டூ இட் ஃபார். ஸோ ராஜன்சி எல்லாம் சொல்லி ஈவன் சந்திரமோகன்ஜி வந்து கிவ் ஏ வாய்ஸ் ஓவர் ஃபார் இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் எல்லாம் பண்ணி ரொம்ப கிராண்டா நடந்தது. கிட்டத்தட்ட டோட்டலா 250 பீப்புள் இது ஆடியன்ஸ். ஸோ ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. நல்லா இஸ் வெண்ட் எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம்லி வெரி வெல். ஸோ அது மாதிரி வி கேன் இங்க இந்த அமைப்பு நல்ல அமைப்பு. இங்க ஒரு பாரதி சங்கம்னு கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
யாரோ சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க.
ஆமா ஆமா ஆமா, ரவி பிரசாத் அவரு. ஆமா, பாரதி மன்றம். இது வந்து பாரதி மன்றம்.
பாரதி மன்றம்.
ஆமா, இது வந்து நம்ம சிந்தனையாளர்களோட சங்கம். ஸோ கிட்டத்தட்ட 100 ஃபேமிலி இருக்கு இங்க. 100 ஃபேமிலி.
வெரி நைஸ்.
ஆமா, பொங்கல்லாம் ரொம்ப கிரேட்டா பண்ணுவாங்க. ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸ் வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்டா பொங்கல் வந்து நம்ம கரகாட்டக்காரம்ல இருந்து சகல எல்லா ஃபங்க்ஷன்
The society.
G, you are breaking.
As a normal, let him.
சரி ஜி,
கூடூர்ல I was giving conducting 1,000 students were there, and students at the back everywhere. So many students, and the chairman, everybody was there. They saw that 3 hours the going on, students are not tired. They are coming rushing to the board and writing the answers. They said, we never thought that in mathematics students will. So he is telling our when is Ravi Kumar coming again? When is he coming again? Method is such that once I was in, they took me to a Catholic school. St. Peter's High School and my own. The principal said, see, Vedic mathematics, all religious, we cannot tolerate no religious propagation. He said, you come and sit in my classroom and just see if I'm doing anything on religion. It is mathematics, another alternative mathematics. So, because chairman had recommended, directors had recommended, she had to do it, but she was not interested. So she came and sat and she asked another teacher to come and sit there. And started writing 60. Oh, and afterwards, one period over, it for 7th standard also, 8th standard also. I ended up taking 4 classes on that day. I said, after each class, I must have 5 minutes rest. I can take 2 classes continuous, then 1 class you leave, again I will take 2 classes. And get me some tea, coffee, and bread and biscuit. She was not ready for the first class, and then she said, "This is all her class."
சரிஜி, பிறகு சந்திப்போம்.
இப்போ 7 மணிக்கு
7 மணிக்கு இருக்கு. 7 மணிக்கு
பகவத்கீதா இந்த ஹிந்து ஜீனியஸ்ல
இந்து ஜீனியஸ்ல ஸ்ரீகிருஷ்ண செங்கல் பகவத்கீதா.
ஏதோ சொல்றாரு காதுல விழல.
ராமசுப்ரமணியம் உங்க
மியூட்
ராமசுப்ரமணியம் உங்களுக்கு மியூட்.
முதல்ல அத
ஓகே. இல்ல சம்டைம் என்ன ஆகுது, ஏதாவது மீட்டிங் ஏதாவது கால் வந்துரும், சோ அதனால அட்டெண்ட் பண்ண முடியல. சோ டுடே வாஸ் ஃப்ரீ ஓரளவு. சோ மேனேஜ் டு அட்டெண்ட். சோ எல்லா மீட்டிங்ல அட்டெண்ட் பண்ண எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஆசை. பட் சம்டைம்
7 மணிக்கு வந்துருங்க இன்னைக்கு.
நான் கண்டிப்பா வந்துடுறேன் ஜி.
இந்து ஜீனியஸ்
மூர்த்திஜி நீங்களும் 7 மணிக்கு வந்துருங்க.
கண்டிப்பாங்க ஐயா, கண்டிப்பாங்க.
சரிங்க, சரிங்க, நமஸ்காரம்.
தேங்க்யூ ஜி, நமஸ்தே.